Hey, what's going on to all my Geminis? So if you'd like to contact me for personal reading, because this reading here resonated with you, then feel free to do so at Kareemspiritworks.wixsite.com. The link to that is in the description box below. Also, if you'd like to get my book is available at Amazon. You can actually go pick it up, or I should say order it. The link to my book, right? I'm self-published now. The link to my book is in the description box below. That link is also in the description box. So I'm so glad that I actually am self-published, because I told y'all, you know, people can come on here and say whatever it is that they want to, talk about my hairline and all that goofy stuff, but I say what it is that I'm going to do, and then I'm actually following up with results. So people can say whatever it is that they want. At the end of the day, I come with the results. So they can't take that away. They only got to keep pontificating. So with the Geminis, we have the Nine of Swords. You have the Page of Swords, the Eight of Cups. Oh, and by the way, too, while we're at it, the videos are going to come out about that as to the clothing line, dressing those things. I'm just trying to get this over with. I actually did the video beforehand talking about the self-publishing, but it published wrong. So I got to redo it over just for y'all. So you have the Eight of Cups, right? The Two of Wands, the Sun. Then you have the Justice. That's interesting. The Devil, okay? Five of Pentacles. The Lovers, and then you have the Queen of Wands. This is for the Geminis. So no major, okay, so I'm lying. You do have major arcana that represents Gemini. Not really lying, I just forgot. The Lovers, okay? The Lovers represent Gemini. But let's get into this. The Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Eight of Cups. These cards right here, okay, let me show it to you. These cards represent you Geminis. It represents how you Geminis' curiosity kind of getting in the way of a relationship, right? In other words, a relationship between, how do I say this? You Geminis are getting to know someone, and the relationship is not functioning correctly. It's not healthy. It's not healthy, unfortunately. And the reason why is because the Nine of Swords, okay? The Nine of Swords represents the curiosity. How do I say this? Air signs, whether it's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, very curious. They're very curious in nature. And the Nine of Swords represents that curiosity. Because see, the thing with Gemini is Gemini represents duality. So that's why Gemini, they say that, Gemini is two twins, is two people, because the two people on the bigger sense of things represents duality. It represents, like I said, it represents duality, good, evil, things of this nature. And that's not the correct way to view things, because it's actually the gray area, right? There is no such thing as good. There is no such thing as evil. It's just a perspective of how it is that you perceive it, and learning from the perspective, so you don't have to suffer that perspective anymore that you find so inconvenient, if you catch my drift. But with that being said, the Geminis are very curious. And why that's so important in the first place is because sometimes Gemini's curiosity can end up really causing kind of situations in a relationship where the two of you ended up pushing the boundaries with one another, right? And it doesn't necessarily work out well. So the Page of Swords and the Eight of Cups represents how this person is kind of drawing the line with you, where they're interacting with you, they're dealing with you, but they're letting you know, they don't like what some of you, the curiosity or the limitations that some of you Geminis are pushing the boundaries to, right? Gemini is very much so a risk taker, right, in that sense, where a lot of you Geminis will kind of be in relationships and kind of see what you can do in a relationship. Now, sometimes, like I said before, this can cause serious problems in a relationship where it can kind of lead to infidelity, where it can lead to, you just kind of interacting with these people, but the relationship doesn't last a very long time due to the curiosity. But this person is telling you what the boundary line is, and trying to even out the playing field, right? But the Two of Wands and the Sun is about how this is more so about how the relationship is kind of over, and the relationship is over already, because I'm seeing how, again, I'm just being honest, I'm seeing how you Geminis do not necessarily care. You Geminis don't want to be in a relationship, but you're kind of seeing the best deal that you can get in a relationship. And if the relationship is not the best deal that you can get, you Geminis are kind of like, you don't really care about relationships because to you it's all BS anyway. That's a very cynical way of looking at the world or perceiving it. But then again, too, Geminis do represent duality, good, evil, right? Good, evil. Is it a perception that's going to work long term? I don't necessarily think so, and I know why it's not going to work long term. But nonetheless, this is what Gemini represent: duality. And the Justice now represents, so what happened, right? What happened? What happens is the Justice, meaning that the two of you either broke up or your friends and family had to get involved, or in a big way, to tell you, not necessarily in a way where they're physically entering into the relationship with you, right, between the two of you, but more so in the sense that that your friends and family and their friends and family entered the relationship to tell you, right, directly, that it's time to break off the relationship. More than likely, the relationship did break off on its own, but the Devil, the Five of Pentacles, represent, now you're starting to understand why. So you're not in the relationship anymore, but you're single now. But a lot of you Geminis starting to see why. So this situation where you were in it and stuff like this, that happened. This is past tense. This is now present and future tense for you Geminis, where you're enjoying yourselves now being single, and that you realizing why you and this person broke up and why you had to. You had to break up due to the fact that the relationship, unfortunately, wasn't going to work, because you Geminis, there was in some respects, you didn't want it to work out, because you wanted to see that. See, there's no problem. It's not a problem testing the freedom of the relationship. Where it comes in, where it becomes a problem, is if you make yourself into a hypocrite, because ultimately there is no need for it, right? Because Gemini, see, the thing is, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, Capricorn, you know what I'm saying? These zodiac sign represents duality, right? It represents duality. So it's about, like, why that's important in the first place is because it's about, but Gemini is the etymology of that. It's the beginning. It's the source of that. Why duality is so important, why it needs to be evolved past that mentality, is because it keeps you stuck between a position, left or right, right? These political houses, a Republican, Democrat. Who cares, right? Because ultimately, and that's part of the reason why I don't get into politics ever in that sense, is because who cares? Because that's the rat race. That's the mentality of the rat race. And Gemini represents, unfortunately, because Geminis are smart, but Geminis represent the rat race. Libra represent the rat race to a certain extent. So does Aquarius. Capricorn too, to a certain extent. But again, the source of the rat race is Gemini, where it's about left, right, up, down, this, that. You gotta sacrifice one for the other. When the realest people on earth, the most powerful people, don't necessarily take a side. They accumulate all of it. They see the good in everything. They see the quote unquote bad in everything, and they take advantage. They are astute. They're looking to receive the most power from everything, including the things that are mishaps, flaws, weaknesses. They're looking to capitalize off of it. They're looking to become more powerful off of it. So the whole dualistic mentality is a very fragmented mentality due to the fact that you force yourself to take a position, and that's where the babbling, the Choronzon energy, and I'm gonna do a video on Choronzon, and why Choronzon is so dangerous and what Choronzon is. The babbling, right? The babbling, right, left, Republican, Democrat, this, that, independent, this, that, the third. Why not be all of it in that sense? Why not have certain things that you love, certain things that you don't love, right? Why not be both? And that's the most important thing. So the thing is that the Lovers and the Queen of Wands, you Geminis were looking for this person who in your mind was this way, but this may not necessarily be the best thing for you because it doesn't work, because you Geminis need to step your game up in the sense of update your reality, right? Like a computer, update your reality. It's not based upon good, evil, left, right, this, that, the third, That's the babble. That's the thing that's keeping you distracted from seeing, look, you benefit from all of this. You just need to know how. You could have told your partner you still want to feel like you have freedom. You're afraid of relationships. You could work on your phobia of being in a relationship. You could work on that, but you have to be direct with yourself. You taking a dualistic mentality, that's where the phobia or the fear is, because now it's you Geminis want a relationship, but you won't actually stay sturdy or steady enough for you to actually stay at peace and steady enough and still enough for you to even allow yourself to receive anything good, to see if a relationship will actually work for you, to even give yourself a chance to see if the relationship gonna work or not. So let's clarify the Lovers card for the Geminis. Let's see. You have the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Cups. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for you, Geminis, is to clarify the Lovers, the major arcana that represent Gemini. Again, the illusion that relationships are substantial and that you are okay with or without them. But you Geminis know you want to be in one. But at the same time, the Ten of Pentacles, you unfortunately, you look for ways to get out of it. But the Page of Cups represent this is not necessarily going to do you a favor. You're not doing yourself a favor in the long run, because these are very delusional perspectives on your part, due to the fact that you can actually get what you want out of relationships if you only know how to allow them to manifest for you. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Peace.